My dad's girlfriend's kids were being xenophobic, so we spoke fluent Spanish in front of them.
Having or showing dislike or prejudice against people from other countries.
Xenophobia, let's get it out of there. Bear with me. I'll try my very best to keep this as short as possible. My parents split when I was 23 and my sister was 20. They were such a poor match, and I'm surprised they lasted so long. And both of us breathed a bit of a sigh of relief when they split. Everyone was immediately happier, and since then, both of our parents have found new partners. By the way, this comes from user Don't Suffer Fools on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, I've always had a good relationship with my dad, albeit a bit of a strained one. My dad is a far bit less politically correct than I am. And I am hardly PC at all, trust me. He calls things that are stupid or that he doesn't like gay. He uses slurs to describe gay people, thinks Hillary Clinton would be a bad president because she'd nuke everyone on her period, and laments that he can't use the N-word in public. Okay, so your dad's...
Wow, soul of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like he has a lot of privilege. He's the epitome of an out-of-touch late 50s lily white guy, is what I'm saying. I love my dad, and while these things bother me, there's literally no changing him. So I have to just bear with it when I'm hanging out with him. And an important note is that while my dad says some sexist, homophobic crap, he never does so in public. Oh, great. So he can do it around, the people he loves the most.
He just does it around his friends, but
yeah,
he doesn't do it.
He knows that it's not allowed to say it.
He's like a cricket. They chirp until they get close to you.
Yeah, and then they jump away.
Yeah.
At the very least, he knows when to keep his opinions to himself and his family. Recently, my dad has been seeing this woman. Let's call her Iris.
I don't know.
Iris has 2 kids as well, 29 male and 27 female. I don't really know Iris very well. I met her earlier this year at my dad's place, but only very briefly as I was dropping off a few things with my dad. My sister's never met her before, and neither of us have met her kids before either. So you don't know these new people.
You don't know these new people.
Okay. My dad really likes this woman, so he wants all of us, both sets of kids, to get to know each other and the parents so we all can be a blended family.
Lovely.
Despite my dad's political incorrectness, he can be adorable sometimes. Okay. Your dad's still... So dad invited us all out to dinner. My sister's known to be a bit bristly with strangers, so I told her to be on her best behavior. Because I want our dad to be happy and didn't want to offend Iris or her kids. Yeah, that makes sense. So we sit down and all start trying to get to know each other. My dad chose a Mexican restaurant to take us out to because it's our whole family's favorite type of restaurant. My mom has the most bombastic, authentic Mexican food all the time. Since my mom and dad split, my dad has been trying to fill the hole with my mom's great cooking left in his belly, so to speak, and is a taqueria junkie. Taqueria junkie. Also important to note, me and my sister, despite being half Mexican, have really white skin. We have obviously Mexican features, or at least I think they're obviously Mexican, but everyone always assumes that we are of white European descent because of the color of our skin. So we sit down with Iris and her kids, and immediately her kids start complaining. These are again 29, they're late 20s.
27, 29, oh boy. Yeah. Oh no.
These are grown adults complaining that half of the menu is in Spanish.
Oh no.
Bro.
Come on.
Next to each thing on the menu was the Spanish name and the English name, and all the descriptions were in English, so it wasn't like an English speaker couldn't read it. I am near fluent in Spanish, and my sister speaks passably, and we're both in school to become English second language teachers, but we tried to settle the hair on the backs of our necks and ignore them. We actually managed to have a pleasant combo with them otherwise, until the waiter comes over to get our drink orders.
Uh-oh, I see you.
Iris's son snapped at the waiter like a dog to get his attention and take his order first.
Oh my gosh.
And her daughter spoke in a highly condescending voice, very slowly. Like this man working at a restaurant that caters to big fat white people couldn't understand dang English. Iris was normal, thank God, but when the waiter, bless his jolly soul, he was so kind despite being treated like an idiot by those two, left. Her son remarked that he didn't expect the service to be very good. I don't even know if he could understand us.
Oh no.
My dad has been to this place before, so he said, no, the service here is great. You're going to love this food. I recommend. Again, I can't remember what exactly he recommended. Something that dad always usually gets. trying to smooth things over. And then the son says, not like I could understand him either with that god-awful accent. These people need to learn English if they want to come to America. Probably an illegal or some crap.
Oh gosh, dude. Oh my goodness.
This is a 29-year-old man
Yeah.
in public.
Dude, that's insane,
And
man.
the mom, I guarantee you that dad, mom, not OP's mom, but OP's like
Yeah, the new
mom and the sister.
the new girlfriend.
Yeah. They're just like, yeah.
Like, keep it up.
Keep it up.
Oh, this is so bad.
Before we get into it, if you like a friend or like a partner, if they started
They say that?
they saying that, well, one saying I would obvious, that's an obvious like no, but
Yeah.
if they were very rude to waiters, or
Oh
like
yeah, turn off,
services,
dude.
I hate that.
Yeah, no.
That's really gross. I always make sure to say please and thank you.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
want everyone to feel welcomed and loved.
Yeah. I even when I leave, I'll make thank you for the food.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys. Have a good night. I always say that.
Yeah.
Me and my sister are generally nice, kind people, but no one has ever accused us of being patient or suffering fools silently. So because we're petty, we just gave each other a look and started speaking only in Spanish to one another for the rest of the night. Yo. Could you imagine?
What?
They just like OP and the sister are speaking Spanish. Their eyes must have been like, oh no.
Yeah.
I felt bad because Iris looked mortified.
Oh dang.
Iris looked mortified, but it felt so good to be so petty for the next hour or so through dinner. We, of course, switched to English to talk to Iris or her kids, but with each other and my dad, who could understand it a bit, but not speak it, we spoke the most rapid, fluent Spanish we could muster.
Oh boy.
And at every opportunity, my sister would try to mention that we were Mexicans and had grown up in a Hispanic household with our mom and her extended family. I would have said something, but let's keep going. Since then, my dad's been texting and calling us, mostly because I'm usually the ringleader of these sorts of things, begging for us to apologize to Iris's kids for embarrassing them. No, F that. For embarrassing them? I'm sure my dad didn't know they were going to be so racist towards Mexicans, or else I'm sure he wouldn't have invited them to go out for Mexican food. But I know he doesn't think what they said was that racist, like I said earlier. The dad doesn't care. Or like this is like the dad's like, oh, they can say it because I say it at home. This is fine.
Yeah.
You know, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
He said that they could have been worse.
Yeah, they could have actually like said the N-word in public.
Yeah.
Or like actually said what they really thought.
Yeah. He said that they could have been worse, and there was no need for you to humiliate them and Iris like that. I agree, Iris was lovely. I should have taken her feelings into account, and I have no problem calling or meeting her to apologize for acting so petty and childish. But dang it, I do not want to apologize to racists for pointing out and not taking their racism sitting down. Is that so wrong? What should I do? Am I just being petty about this too? I don't want to make my dad unhappy, but I know he's not a good judge of what is and isn't racism. And I don't feel like I should apologize for slapping a couple of racist adult brats down. There is an update.
Ooh. Like, this is
I think this is a competition of petty.
Yeah.
But OP's in the right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I mean, in a way, you did isolate the two kids, and they were horrible people. So, not saying you have to apologize to them. You were on their level in a way to like show them,
rather than tell them like, hey, that's not right.
Yeah.
We are Mexican. If
Yeah.
our dad hasn't told you, which I think that should have been like my previous partner.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, if you don't feel like you have to apologize to them and you don't want to build a relationship with them, don't do
need
it.
to. You don't have to. This is not for your father's happiness. This is for your happiness.
Yeah, and like you can tell your dad, like, hey, I don't really like these people.
The fact that they're willing to apologize to Iris is great. But they don't have to be like justify their explanation.
Yeah, no, I'm all about being around people you're excited to be around.
Yeah, especially I hate people who are rude to the like waiters and like food service. You do realize if people are out there and you do that, you do realize these people are serving you food.
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud? They're serving you food.
Yeah.
You know what that means? They can do whatever they want to your food.
Oh wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
be kind to your waiters. Update. So I thought I'd come back to update y'all. My sister and I talked about it with our mom. I was gonna say, yeah, what if mom were there?
Yeah.
I would have told dad, like, what if our mom was there?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? We could have been worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you say they could have been worse. We could have been worse.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I'd come back to update y'all. My sister and I talked about it with our mom, who has always been much calmer than us. She laughed at us speaking nothing but Spanish and said she wished she'd been there to see Iris's kids' faces. She did tell us to just apologize, though, because she knows how our dad can hold grudges over tiny things like this. We didn't really want to do that, though. So I contacted Iris and asked her if I could meet up for coffee and talk about everything that happened. She was super apologetic when we met for coffee.
Aww.
And said a lot of her kids' funny ideas come from their bio dad,
Oh, I see.
who is a patriotic Republican.
Ooh.
I think she has a
type.
type.
Ah!
The way she kind of sugarcoated everything about it makes me think maybe she doesn't necessarily think what they did was wrong in general. Just that she was sorry my sister and I happened to be part Mexican and that what they did offended us.
Not sorry for what they said.
She's like, oh, they were the kids. They said the darndest things, even though they were literally 30. Anyway, it was just me and Iris at Starbucks. My sister wasn't there. She's grown incredibly apathetic to the incident in a very short amount of time. That's just the way she is. And I said I understand everyone's entitled to their opinion, that my dad has some opinions I don't agree with at all too, but that it was rude of them to assume we'd be okay subjected to their racist remarks and was embarrassing to be seen with racist. Iris was pretty flustered at the terms racist, but I didn't back down. Anyway, she was at least reasonable and apologized again about what happened. And I apologized that we embarrassed her at dinner. And besides some slightly irreversibly ruffled feathers, I think I've at least smoothed things over with her. And you can smooth things with us every weekday, live 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Easy money. This is tough. It's her kids, and she wants to respect them and their ideas and their values. So that's probably why she's sugarcoating everything.
100%. They're just, again, privileged.
Yeah.
You're privileged. You can't, they're not gonna. They don't know. They don't understand, and they don't think they will ever understand.
I bet you they got the brand newest iPhone.
They got Cybertrucks.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm not
Big
calling out
trucks.
people who have Cybertrucks. Just saying. No, there's no reason for you to apologize. Again, you apologize to the person that you need to apologize.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's understanding, but not to the extent that you want her to be. I guess you guys are meeting halfway. This isn't your family.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with them. You'll have to see your dad, but I know you want to make things, friendly. You don't have to do that.
Nope.
Yeah, back to the story. My dad is another story. Speaking of another story, my dad is another story. He is stubbornly not talking to me until I apologize to his girlfriend's kids.
Oh no.
I made my stance clear that I wouldn't. And if he wanted to act like racism against his kids was okay, then I wouldn't be hanging around him anymore, or God forbid, bringing my future mixed kids and his future grandkids around.
Ooh.
My sister just sent him a text that said, have fun with the racist. She's not good at being subtle.
Aww.
Anyway, that's where things are right now. Not a super good ending, but not necessarily a bad ending either. And that's the actual end of the story.
You just kind of, stood your ground on what you believed in and what you value. That's not a bad thing.
You have to tell your dad, like, there's a fine line, Dad. Like, I get it. That's who you are. I'm not going to change who you are. I just don't agree with it.
Yep.
That's your family. Have fun.
Yep.
Low contact is all.
Low contact.
Racists suck. Xenophobic people suck. Prejudice suck. You suck.
And that's that episode, or that's
the end
in
of
that story.